Hello, baby. Hello, nasty. Hello there. Hello. I say hello. Hello, friend. Well, hello, little girl. Hello, my treacherous friends. Hello, operator. The beginning of everything. Welcome back, my friends. It's showtime.
Hey, it's the Brink of Sanity Show, episode 177. We have Mark and Stowe and Heather today, and we're gonna do. Hey, everybody! We're gonna do a little political episode. We do that once in a while in honor of the election coming up. What, next week?
Because of the massive hurricane, there are many people without power, electricity, and food. Our internet connection is kind of spotty. So that's the only way it's affected us. So we can't go Skype. So we're going on an iPhone, on speakerphone.
Yes,
that's why it makes a little crap on your end.
Yeah, serious first world problems today. So, yeah, Mark, you're going to be taking the conservative side of things?
I am, call me Mark the Hawk. Just call me the Hawk.
I'm not calling you the Hawk.
Call me the Hawk. Didn't you mean the Eagle? Oh, call me USA.
USA? I don't even know what that means.
USA.
Oh.
I represent America.
I get it.
And you can call, I believe the other two people are Terrorist A and Terrorist B.
So, I guess you're going to be speaking on behalf of Romney, right?
Well, the election is coming up next Tuesday. I will be arguing in favor of Romney and in favor of the conservative/correct position on things. And my other two, Stowe here /Terrorist A, will be arguing the liberal/not-Obama opinion. And Terrorist B here will take the independent view, or liberal view as well. I don't know, whatever. They're both terrorists.
All right, because
terrorist, same difference.
Well, that's good because there's a quote here from today about the hurricane cleanup, and I want clarification because it didn't quite make sense to me. And then since you lie a lot, then I want the other side.
You have to be, if you're going to be the moderator, you have to be non-biased. You can't call one of the liars to get in the chow.
Okay, I would like to see if the other side concurs with your explanation or not.
I will be happy to explain anything that Romney says because he's correct.
Okay, well, here's the quote about the hurricane cleanup. I have to say that twice because you may not realize that this is actually about the hurricane cleanup because it's a little confusing. I remember once.
You really should not attack me right before you ask the question. I'm happy. I'm right here.
I remember once we had a football field at my high school. The field was covered with rubbish and paper goods from people who'd had a big celebration there at the game. And there was a group of us there assigned to clean it up. And I thought, how are we going to clean up all the mess on the football field? There were just a few of us, and the person responsible for organizing the effort said, just line up along the yard lines. You go between the goal line and the 10-yard line, and the next person between the 10 and the 20, and just walk down and do your lane. And if everybody cleans their lanes, we'll get it done. And so today we're cleaning one lane, if you will.
I mean, to me it makes sense. I mean, I'm relating the hurricane to football, like clean up, just like I relate 9/11 to my prom. It's just a matter of, I mean, it's just analogies used to make sure people can understand what I'm talking about. But New York City and New Jersey and parts of wherever else are just a lane that need to be cleaned. What's the problem?
So you're basically you relate all of the United States problems to something from high school.
Yeah. Katrina was about like my swim team when the pool overflooded.
So does Stowe or Heather have a did they interpret that any differently?
Analogies to high school.
Well, I think there's a difference to be made between a bunch of drunk high school kids throwing styrofoam cups on the ground and the worst hurricane to ever hit New York City in the history of the world.
You know, styrofoam cups are there forever.
All right.
The cleanup will happen. Things will be repaired. Styrofoam cups are forever.
Okay, but I think
like diamonds are forever. Styrofoam cups are forever.
how is this a bad thing? Because I believe in this story that was just told, the whole football field got cleaned up.
Yes, and New York and the rest of the tri-state areas are all going to be cleaned up, and everyone will be better under the administration. If Obama takes over 4 years from now, the cleanup won't barely even started.
I see. Very, very interesting. Okay, so we'll move on to a completely different topic. LGBT rights. All right, so...
I think that needs to be defined to some of the parties here.
LGBT.
That's lesbian, gay, bisexual, and trans something. Something with trans.
Coming out to? Because I'm fine with that. I am fine with a transgender lesbian moderator.
Okay. So that nobody else has any comments on that one.
I would say if you are a lesbian transgender earning $20 million a year, I'd be happy to lower your taxes because you'd be spurring the economy.
What exactly is the issue with the LGBT?
Do you have a question attached to just saying when?
Well,
people. Go.
Well, some people are saying that they should not be allowed to get married.
Moderator ever.
Well, I am trying to come up with these questions with no preparation. So, yes.
Way to prepare.
Yes.
He's just lecturing for us for a lifetime.
Was the whole point of this for all three sides to just heckle the moderator?
Okay, what's your question about LGBT ABCs?
Same-sex marriage. It's been rumored that some sides support it and some sides don't, while other rumors say that everyone who's running for president hates all gay people, and they're just saying what they have to do to get elected.
Again, I don't think you sound very independent as a moderator, but I would say Obama is trying to force everyone in this country to be gay married, which would be the end of our species.
There's sort of a misunderstanding on the right that if you allow gay people to get married, all of a sudden it'll spread like the flu.
Will. If it's legalized, then I will leave my wife and kid and get gay married, because you kind of have to under an Obama administration.
Okay.
I thought Obama wanted to pass a constitutional amendment saying all men must marry men. I believe
Yes, we do. And I'll tell you why.
I believe that's what Obama, that was one of his points of how he's going to move us forward. He was like, yes, we can, chug cock. That's what.
You see, if the men marry the other men, then all of a sudden women will move up in the world. They'll have better jobs, and they'll have more opportunities. And for my two girls, I want to see this for them.
Exactly. It's all about, we're talking about, the gay people can't afford to get married because Obama has ruined the economy. If the economy was better, they could afford to get married or move to countries that allow them to.
Now listen to this. If gay people get married, gay people will get divorced.
Exactly. We want to also reduce the divorce rate. And the best way to reduce the divorce rate is not letting them get married in the first place.
Now, see, the governor here, he'll have you believe that this isn't going to help the tax rate. This isn't going to help the government's deficit. But I'll show you that that's not the case.
The government will have to pay, benefits to gay people's spouses. And we're trying to get out of paying benefits to straight people's spouses. This really complicates their problems even more so.
Stowe, do you have any comment on that?
A little speech on things.
So every time we do a debate, this terrorist here doesn't have anything else. Move on to the next topic.
Okay, student loans.
You did good job. Obama's going to watch.
No, next topic.
Okay.
Next topic.
Student loan debt is going up by $2,800 per second
You should go to one of those websites that has questions for which side of like the aisle you are on, and ask these questions.
What?
Remember that you did? That, like, which candidate you most like?
Are you questioning my my topic selection here?
Yes, I am.
I didn't think they'll.
Transgender bias.
Okay, student loans.
These
I
are good
agree
questions.
students should get jobs and stop being lazy.
I think we need to create the right jobs for the students.
Exactly.
Clean energy and other good stuff.
And Obama's not creating any jobs for students. If you're a student now in an Obama economy in 4 years, your chance of getting a job will be like winning the lottery.
I didn't even ask a question, really.
You know, in an Obama economy, someone who graduates from Harvard with magna cum laude will have to be a community organizer, which is basically another word for a communist pimp.
So, relief for student loans. Is this a waste of government money, or is this necessary to get people out from a bunch of debt and get the economy going again?
If you're talking about debtors' prisons, I think we might be on the same page.
Debtor's prison?
Yeah. Those people that can't pay go to prison and work off the money there. You're usually doing like slave labor, such as making clothing, and that way we can win jobs back to China, because we'll pay our debtors that are in prison less money than they would pay the workers in China. Until they pay back the $200,000 student loan.
It's become no surprise from us that the conservative is pro-slavery.
Listen, I am in favor of all principles that our country were founded on.
All right, the big drug debate.
I would just want to jump in right here. I do believe Obama is a cocaine addict. Okay, go on.
Gary Johnson's been saying that.
You can say it. You can say, and if you really do believe what this man says, I mean, you know, that's up to you. Go ahead and vote for him.
Right. If you want to go with the person that does a lot of cocaine and ecstasy, Obama's your man.
I'll sit down and have a beer with you.
Obama's also an alcoholic. Think about how often he has to sit down and have a beer with people. It happens a lot. Have you seen Malik and whatever the other one's name is recently? They both probably have black eyes.
I just heard Malik has a black eye. What the? I don't even know what you're talking about.
He's seeing his children. I'm just saying he drinks a lot and his children have black eyes.
All right.
On the stairs.
My question was on the drug war, which Gary Johnson claims is failed and wasting a lot of government money, and he's proposing
nuclear bomb.
He's proposing legalizing weed, so we don't have to go to war against it.
To Mexico.
Wait, are we proposing legalizing weed?
Is Obama proposing legalizing weed? I don't think he is.
No, I said Gary Johnson is.
No one's debating for Gary Johnson.
There's a referendum in Washington that's actually winning in the polls to legalize marijuana in the state.
Yeah, it's up by like 56% in the popular vote, which means we're all moving to Washington.
Well, the fact of the matter is the drug war is a tremendous waste of government resources. A large percentage of people that are in prison, and you know, the government has to pay for everybody in prison, is in prison because of minor drug offenses.
I don't think that's something either of our parties have stated.
I'd like to point out that
it's true.
I'd like to point out that that was just a liberal being weak on war, weak on defense.
And as a Democrat, I'm going to sit here and say we want to protect people from the evils and the hazards of you know, the use of drugs, from the crack wars, etc.
Yeah.
That's why I would follow in Bill Clinton's steps to, you know, improve those rates of putting people behind bars for drug offenses.
I thought Bill Clinton cut the crack course for himself.
Well,
I'll keep them for myself, too.
I'd be a bad Democrat to point out that Obama pretty much subsumed George Bush's policy of using the federal law enforcement to crack down on medical marijuana in places where it is legal in the state.
But see, I don't believe the state should have rights.
I'm going to pretend I know what subsume means and say you're a terrorist. Yes, the drug war, any war, I'm in favor of. I think we need to use more nuclear weapons and more drones.
I think we should take the guns off the streets.
You know, I think we have drones in the street. Things would be safer. You can't disagree. If you try to buy weed on the street and a drone shot a missile at you, you would buy weed again.
All right, moving along.
It's cheaper than sitting in the prison.
Exactly. This way, the prison could be much less people in prison because there are more people shot with missiles. Ever since Obama took over, in his favor, I have to say, we haven't added too many new prisoners to Guantanamo Bay because they've been dead. That's how he closed on Guantanamo Bay, and I agree with that policy.
All right. These two questions go hand in hand. Since we brought up war, should the U.S. end the war in Afghanistan, and should the government cut military spending?
No to both questions. We should quadruple military spending, and every household should have a tank, and we should all go to Afghanistan and fix that. Well, we should basically, anywhere, we say that. If we can find, Afghanistan has a lot of valuable minerals. We should stay there until the minerals are ours, and then we should go home.
I think it's important to point out that 50% of our federal budget is defense spending.
I agree that it's very low. I'm just saying they have a lot of valuable resources, and there's no reason that savages like that should have valuable resources.
I'm going to point out that I single-handedly did what the previous presidents could not do.
You're supposed to be Obama.
I stabbed Osama bin Laden in the face, and I took him out. And at this point, we can now take our troops home, bring that money back, and invest it in programs here for education.
I mean, as I recall, Osama bin Laden was living in a mansion at the time, and it's just about the only reason they even got him is that Obama tends to go after the rich in general. Like happened to randomly kill a rich person that was Osama bin Laden.
Because I want to decrease the tax rate for the middle class.
And to be fair, it's actually correct. Bin Laden was actually killed under Bush's term, not Obama.
No, you can check the record on that. Read the transcript.
I will. Fact checker.
You can check all you want, but George Bush.
You can Wikipedia that.
Killed. Wikipedia's will be accurate for the next 3 minutes.
What he's saying is Osama bin Laden was a job creator.
He did create a number of jobs, and they're. It doesn't really matter because Bush killed bin Laden. Bush was one of the SEAL Team 6. The SEAL Team 6 consisted of George Bush Sr., Donald Rumsfeld, Dick Cheney, Clint Eastwood, and Keith Sutherland, because he's really good at 24. It's the facts. It's facts.
Matt Damon.
I think this next question should be a nice little sanity check here. Do you believe in the theory of evolution?
It's not something you believe in. Science isn't a matter of belief.
I would like to say I believe people have made up the theory. I believe that people have made up a theory that is the theory of evolution. I believe that exists. That made up theory.
If you think that DNA exists, then you have to believe that evolution exists. The foundations of
So we have another area of disagreement. I don't believe in DNA.
I believe in pressing.
I believe DNA is a communist plot to make it all sound like we're together on something when we're not. We're individuals, and we don't share anything like DNA.
What's your stance on abortion, then?
I am against abortion in all cases, and if the woman has an abortion, I think she should get the death penalty. It's premeditated murder. I don't know why more people don't call for the death penalty for women that get abortion.
Anybody else want to chime in on abortion?
No, I think he's right.
I think that there's
No one ever calls for, like, no one ever says, like, they always want to kill the doctors, they want to get, like, they want to stop it. Like, well, I guess it is if you think it's a person that's premeditating murder, and the woman, you should give her death penalty.
So what about the death penalty?
I think it should be used more often, more freely, more arbitrarily.
I think whenever, speaking of DNA, whenever DNA came around, they started to test all these little death penalty cases, and a strikingly large percentage of them ended up being innocent of the crimes that they were put to death for. So,
But now you're back to believing in evolution.
Yeah, I don't believe in DNA. Henceforward, I believe we always say, listen, God wouldn't let us execute the wrong people. I don't remember any days. I don't remember God ever creating DNA. Within the Bible, it didn't happen.
Didn't God say, "Thou shalt not kill"?
Yeah, he said I shouldn't kill, but God killed.
But he also said kill the infidels. Oh wait, I'm not Muslim.
Bringing up another point. Yeah, Muslims should be if we execute all Muslims, that would probably solve most of our problems. There are a lot of jobs in America being held by Muslims that could be held by white Christians. Plus, there'd be a lot more. We can hire the immigrant Mexicans who vote, the immigrant Hispanics that would vote for me or vote for Romney by giving them more jobs as big grave diggers.
Well, there is a striking number of people on the religious right who believe that our efforts in Afghanistan and the Middle East in general are a Christian versus Muslim religious war, and that's one of the reasons why it's supported.
Yeah, so
I'm just going to remind you, I killed Osama bin Laden.
Thanks for us.
Christians killing Muslims, whoever bin Laden. I don't know what the religion was.
It's another black-on-black crime, isn't it?
Could we get around to the important things, like Obama being Kenyan?
Yeah, Obama won't show his birth certificate. So does this mean he really is not a United States citizen? And
He's never produced a birth certificate. He's from Kenya.
Some of us have never produced their tax return.
Exactly. I haven't seen.
The economy is really the issue here. That's what I want to see.
That is an excellent point. We need to see more tax returns from Barack.
Barack Obama has released his tax return, has released his birth certificate several times, so much to the point that the state legislature in Hawaii has passed laws so that the department that holds the department that actually produces birth certificates no longer has to respond to requests from crazy right-wing assholes.
I want to point out that Hawaii is more than a 6-hour flight from mainland U.S. I don't believe Hawaii is part of the United States. So I don't give any back weight to there. I mean, basically, he claims to be from Hawaii, which is like, come on, it's not part of the United States anyhow. But he's really Kenyan anyhow. Either way, he's a communist.
Okay. Let's move on to something completely unrelated, but it's relevant because of the hurricane. Global warming. Is global warming actually a threat to the environment, or was it just a coincidence that we've had these storms lately?
Coincidence.
All right, next
Correlation
topic.
is causation.
I think by arguing that it's coincidence, you're arguing that correlation is causation.
I think you don't understand what causation means, actually.
The thing is, there's a statistically significant relationship between the amount of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere and the temperature. And people who say that it's happening as a natural phenomenon are saying that it's coinciding with statistically significantly with the amount of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere.
So my question to you is, if global warming gets a lot worse, do you think the Earth will disappear?
No.
So there you go. I win.
Oh, life on Earth will be dead.
You think Earth will be fine?
Earth will be fine.
Yeah, Earth will be fine.
The rocks will be here.
So my opponent is saying Earth will be fine. But also, the whole idea of global warming is just a way, because the liberals hate gasoline. I don't know why they hate gasoline, but apparently most of them were beaten with gas cans when they were young children. And because of that, they hate gasoline. They want to make sure Europe, gasoline is not allowed. And they want to make it just like Europe. Would you want to live like you were in Europe? How horrendous would that be?
Listen, I traveled to the hurricane-devastated region of Manhattan, and I stayed with Jay-Z, Beyonce, and their new baby when they had no power on the highway. When you see the destruction that happens there, you can't question that there is a climate change issue.
Do you believe Jay-Z and Beyonce lost power? Come on.
It took them 3 minutes to get their generator going.
First of all, if you believe in global warming, how do you explain the winter?
Because the Earth revolves around the sun.
It gets colder in the winter. If global warming is happening, would it not get colder in the winter?
It gets warmer overall.
It keeps getting cold. Every winter, I'm pretty damn cold.
It doesn't. It's getting warmer in the winter.
I think the coat manufacturers, the hat manufacturers, the glove manufacturers would disagree with you. The ice skaters manufacturers, I think a lot of people out there, you know who doesn't believe in global warming? Ice hockey players.
I think we can use it as an opportunity to build jobs in America. As we restructure our islands and coastal lands to prevent the destruction of these natural currencies.
Obama's talking about islands. He's in Kenya still.
I think we should point out that Barack Obama. We should keep in mind that Barack Obama has actually accelerated the production of carbon dioxide producing fossil fuels, even more so than Bush. So we can talk about.
So Romney will save the environment because he will not be Obama. Listen, Romney may not believe in global warming. That's not to say he won't prevent it. Listen, Romney will do everything for everyone. He will prevent global warming. I think I'm not believing global warming. He's against abortion. But it supports your right to have an abortion if only in one of the liberal states. But he's still against it. He believes in health care for all except for everyone. He believes in a strong military and us taking over the rest of the world as long as you're in favor of that. Whatever you're in favor, Romney's in favor of, because he's everything to everyone. He's like God.
Well, he is endorsed by Jesus.
Yeah, that was a pretty good endorsement. When Jesus came over to America, he did, as part of the Mormon faith, when he came to America, he said Romney will be president in the year 2012. And as part of one of the things that Joseph Smith saw, well, he in 2012. You cannot disagree with what Joseph Smith said. I mean, the Mormon culture is the correct culture. We understood that Jesus mastered the ability to transnavigational. He mastered the ability to build a boat and came over to America. Everyone knows that.
I think Jay hung up on us.
No, I was enjoying that.
Well, if you believe in the righteous faith of Mormonism, you know that Jesus came to America. We are the Latter-day Saints. And if Romney is elected, I guarantee all white men that vote for us, and we need the white male vote, you can have as many wives as you want.
How about, we haven't covered this yet, gun control? For more gun control or less gun control?
If we use more drones, we need fewer guns.
I believe Obama and I are in complete agreement that we should do nothing.
So, because it was argued that if there was less gun control, that the shooting in the movie theater wouldn't have happened because somebody else would have had a gun and they would have neutralized each other.
I think the thing is you have to leave things to the market. Markets are perfect. Supply and demand create efficiency. And if you allow the markets to just do their thing, then everything will work out perfectly.
Really?
So if you eliminate all gun control, everything will work out efficiently.
Okay, fair enough.
So, well, the guy that shot down that state representative who survived, Gabby Giffords, he had these special extended clips that held more bullets than a usual pistol would be able to hold. And so he wouldn't have been able to just kill all of those people that he did, only he'd be able to kill less people that he did.
So I have a question.
If those
everyone's examining the shooter, do we not know whether Gabby Giffords is a sinner?
She was a Democrat.
Well, there you go. So maybe it was a righteous killing. And she's not dead, but maybe it was God's way. Maybe God's way was to have her take a bullet in her head, and that will be the arc that turns her life around.
All right, here's a good one. We already covered abortion, but we didn't cover the hot topic that has been going around Congress about how abortion is not necessary for rape victims because the body builds up its immune system for rape sperm. So you don't actually get pregnant from rapes.
One woman who got raped who had a baby. It never happened.
It's never happened because the immune system builds up. So is this true or is this propaganda?
It's absolute fact. Joseph Smith himself said it.
Contrary to what my conservative colleague is saying, women don't have magic vaginas.
I want to ask you this, Karen Day. When you were raped, did you have a baby?
Of a man.
Exactly. Can you point to one person? Everyone says there are people that got raped without babies, but no one comes forward and said, I was raped, and here's my rape son.
Well, I think what that shows you.
Yeah, I've never known anyone. I know a lot of people. I've never known anyone who said I was born of a rape. So it must never have happened.
Well, the thing, what that guy said was a little more sinister than the question. He said legitimate rape. The woman's vagina will not accept the sperm if it's not a legitimate rape.
That's why she says no, but her vagina didn't see it.
Yeah, that's exactly. We're all on the same page. It's blaming the victim. So either she changed her mind later and started accusing the guy of rape, which is one of those blame the victim ways, or she actually secretly liked it being raped. And either of those things are pretty horrible ways to accuse a rape victim.
Many of the women I've raped have enjoyed it.
And have any of them ever gotten pregnant?
Most of them, no. As far as I know.
They're all little boys.
None of them were little boys.
It's from the Book of Women, right?
Death penalty. Should the death penalty be allowed by the federal government?
Yeah. We should have drones in the streets shooting people that commit crime.
Barack Obama has passed a law that says that he has the ability to kill anybody he wants for any reason.
I have to over Obama, so I guess I've argued a conservative position on that.
I'm not really. I can't defend Obama in this. He's basically given.
There was, you know, the guy LaRouche, whatever. The people stand in the street and they have like little pamphlets of LaRouche. He's like this. Well, I don't know if he's like a libertarian or whatever it is, but like kind of some like crackpot. And so he's saying impeach Obama. And so first I was like, can I have a flyer? I want to read it. He gave me a flyer. I was like, oh, it's the second flyer. Can I have that one also? You can make a donation. I was like, I'll make a donation to get a photocopy? Yes. Like, what the fuck? And so I walked away. But I read the flyer that I had, and it was like, we should impeach Obama for drone strikes, for killing Americans, for, if I agree, I'm like, oh, I agree with that. Fuck Obama. Anyhow, so I support the right for abortions in the case of women that I get pregnant outside marriage.
Just you specifically.
Definitely.
Oh, death penalty. Yeah, I think women that have abortions get the death penalty, and I think we use the death penalty, I think that more liberally and more randomly.
Did you say women who get abortion should get the death penalty?
Yeah, we were talking about this before, of course.
Okay, just making sure I heard that correctly.
I think it's the most only consistent viewpoint is to say women who have that. I mean, how can you argue this? If the women get an abortion, that means they've committed premeditated murder, which is the basis for having death penalty in the United States. Maybe we can make it more efficient and have the drones shoot missiles at the women that are heading to the abortion clinics.
Should U.S. national parks and forests continue to be preserved and protected by the government?
Yes, there should be guns in national parks. Was that your question?
I think
they can all be managed more efficiently by the private market. The private market is always the answer. We should sell them off at the lowest offers possible to get the private market to get them. I would say companies like Bechtel, I don't know, other big companies should get big companies. We should sell Yosemite and Yellowstone National Park. That's not real. It's close though.
So you just said we should auction it off to the lowest bidder?
Yeah, the government should not try to make money off of land that they own.
Okay. I mean, I think it'll be a quick auction if it goes to the lowest bidder. Whoever says one first.
But does the government really have a right to own private land?
I don't even know what's happening anymore.
The government should give up all land as fast as possible to the lowest bidder and let the magic of the private market work everything out. You know, if we had already sold off private land to the private market and eliminated government, the economy would be booming at 35% a year.
And where do you get that number?
There are a couple studies I could cite.
And they are.
There are a couple of papers I've written. Again, I can cite. There are a lot of economists, 108, I didn't for last count, that would agree completely with what I said.
Very specific number.
They all, I would say most of them don't want to be part of the political tussle, so they want to be part of this. But if you do any of your own research, you'll find out that I'm correct.
Okay, well, I'm not going to do that research because I'm lazy. So I'm just going to have to take your word for it.
Exactly.
Directly related to the economy, the bailouts of the banks in 2008. Should the U.S. have done that, or should they have taken a different approach?
I don't think the Democrats should have bailed out the bank.
George Bush passed the bailout.
Who controlled Congress then?
Democrats.
Who makes laws? So who created the bailout?
Democrats.
Okay, so there we go. We all agree Democrats created the bailout, and we disagree with them doing it.
George Bush has veto power.
Who creates the law? Who controls the both houses of Congress?
That's an answer.
It's not that position at all correct.
The answer is. I mean, I don't know. A lot of people think that the economy would have crashed if we didn't bail out these big banks. But the problem is now that they're still alive, they're doing the same that they did before the crash in 2008. So we're just guaranteed to have another crash anytime.
If we had not allowed the banks to bail out, and we allowed them to fail, the magic of the private markets would mean that 4 years later, under Republican rule, unemployment would be at -8%, meaning 8% of the public would be employed in two jobs.
That's an interesting study.
That study was brought to you by the Brookings Institute.
Minimum wage. Should the federal government raise the federal minimum wage?
As we talked about earlier, I am a fan of slavery, so we should actually eliminate it.
No minimum wage?
No minimum wage. Jobs, the magic of the private market will get people paid according to what they're actually worth. So if you're worth a nickel an hour, That's what you're worth.
And who determines people's worth?
You determine your own worth by working hard. We're a country of individuals. Don't blame others. Don't make others create an artificially low ceiling for how bad you work. No one who gets paid minimum wage deserves, if they get paid minimum wage, they deserve more.
What about the debt ceiling? Should that be raised?
We shouldn't have any debt.
Deficit spending and issuing treasury bonds are essential parts of our economy.
We should stick GDP to 20% or debt to 20% of GDP and stick with it and have a balanced budget. Every state has a balanced budget. Why can't the federal government have a balanced budget? Obama is the first president I can think of who hasn't had a balanced budget.
The federal government isn't required to have a balanced budget because deficit spending is a tool to get us out of recession.
Obama created the deficit spending. The economy was in perfect shape prior to Obama.
It's math.
It's math, yes. My question really is, why does Obama want to create a society of debtors? He wants to create a society of debtors because then we'd all be slaves to the overlord Obama and work in prison camps, and Obama would gay marry all of us. Individually, we'd all be married to Obama.
All right. Do you support the affordable...
We, for now, refer to Obama as by his original middle name, Hitler.
Did you say Obama's original middle name is Hitler?
He only changed it to his name more recently. It used to be Barack, Hitler, Obama.
So you've been getting on Obama's case for not releasing his birth certificates. What about your tax returns?
I believe I've released all the tax returns that are required by law.
Which are 0, right?
2, actually.
The thing is, he doesn't want everybody to know that he's been paying a marginal rate probably less than 10%, because he's been spending all
Listen, Robbie makes more money than everyone because he's smarter than everyone, and he doesn't want everyone else to figure out how he makes more money because why should everyone else leech off his success?
I mean, he's not smarter than anybody. He just was born with a silver spoon in his hand. Barack Obama made his wealth from nothing.
Obama has, $7 million? Romney, twice his half $7 million.
Romney stole that money from companies that built themselves up from nothing.
Because he's smarter than those companies. Listen, Romney would have the amount of dollars you have in the bank is equivalent of basically an IQ, basically. The smarter you are, the more money you have. The dumber you are, the less money you have. I'm good. It's just a fact. The more money you have, the smarter you are, and the greater your worth is.
And apparently, you work harder if you're smart, if you're more wealthy.
Exactly. So Romney's probably one of the smarter men in America, and that's why we should elect him.
Affordable.
We shouldn't raise the minimum wage so that people work harder.
Most people are lazy, and the only way they're going to be encouraged to work harder is by getting rid of these safety nets in society and making them less leeches. You want less leeches in society. That way, if you know you don't have health care, you know you don't have minimum wage, you know you don't have a home to live in, you will work harder.
Ask everybody south of 34th Street. They're working really hard right now.
Exactly. You can tell in Manhattan, those people that live south of 34th Street are the lazier Americans. That's why they don't have power.
Affordable Care Act, a.k.a. Obamacare. In support of it or against it?
I'm against not to care.
I'm for it. That's why I pay people to vote against it.
All I understand about Obamacare is it's going to force you to give up your health care, and in turn, you are going to get a first aid kit, and that's your entire health care you'll have. Basically, a collection of Band-Aids and scissors. And I don't know what this is for. I believe there might be a nail file in it also. And I don't know why we create something. The Affordable Care Act should be called the Unaffordable Care Act because it's exploding the economy. prior to the passing of the Affordable Care Act, we did have a deficit. Since we passed the Affordable Care Act, the deficit ballooned to $16 trillion.
So you're also in favor of dismantling our Medicare program?
Those numbers you can check out factcheck.com
After the election?
They're a competitor. They're a competitor of the factcheck.org that I own.
So that means you're in favor.
Do you think, as liberal communists in Obama, do you think people who are lazy deserve health care?
I think all human beings deserve health care as a matter of right.
So are we arguing who's a human being? Because I can see how you can not define lazy people as human beings.
No, even lazy people, even criminals, even liberals, even women who get abortion.
So if someone came and raped your mom, would you think that person is a human being?
Well, yeah, that doesn't change the fact that they're human beings.
You're saying it's okay for human beings to rape your mom.
No.
So I'm saying, with the human being that raped your mom, does he deserve health care?
All human beings deserve health care, yes.
So if the human being that raped your mom wanted to get a penis implant, or a penis, and you want to have a transgender operation, would you be in favor of that?
I'm not in favor of giving a rapist penis implant.
You're against health care.
Obamacare gives penis implants to rapists. I see.
I believe that one of the next to the Think About Death panel, as the rapist gets bigger penis.
So they could be more rapey?
Yes, more rapey, and which in turn would equal more abortion under a President Dictator Obama. Under Romney, women would no longer be raped. We wouldn't need health care because no one ever gets sick again.
So should the U.S. maintain a presence at the United Nations?
The U.S. should attack the United Nations. It has caused many a problem in the world, and the first thing we should do is take a nuclear bomb and blow up the United Nations. I believe that's part of the Republican platform.
You know, that's down 20 blocks from here.
Okay, let me rephrase that. The U.S. should take a nuclear weapon to the United Nations after I move. Okay, we should send everyone in. Fine, I can't blow it up. I live here. We should send everyone in the United Nations to Guantanamo Bay.
So there's no counter argument for nuking the United Nations.
I mean, don't.
I think that if you just listen to him, you know that that's not a good idea.
I've led you in the correct path so far. Listen. Here's how Romney feels about this. He's against the United Nations if you're against the United Nations. He's favor the United Nations if you're in favor of it. Whatever you're for. He likes chocolate ice cream, you like chocolate ice cream. He likes vanilla ice cream, you like vanilla ice cream. Just tell him what kind of ice cream you like and don't vote for him.
I thought he only liked the things that you like
Here's-
if you paid him money.
Here's the thing. Romney's got a lot of money. Everyone who votes for him gets an iPad. That's what I'm saying. Everyone gets an iPad. Do you want an iPad? Vote for Romney.
I'm getting in a report that says Romney actually does not like chocolate ice cream because it's too dark.
That is probably true because Mormons. Do you know Mormons? They said there's a great war that went on in the U.S. and the people, the side that I guess they wiped out one side, the side that was the evil side. God punished them for making their skin dark. What? I'm reading a book about Mormonism right now. Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
That's really what it says.
That's insane.
Yeah, no, it really says that. But they said those are the Indians, actually. Yeah, no, fuck yeah, far more. The Indians were this tribe that killed the white Mormons. I guess I forget the name of the tribe, and God made them dark as punishment. And in general, Mormons have been extremely racist against black people or African Americans because they were dark. I think in 1978 they allowed them to become priests.
Isn't Romney a Mormon?
Yeah, so I'm arguing for Mormonism.
Oh, okay.
They were also persecuted in America.
Mormons.
Yeah, Mormons. A lot for their polygamy. But they were persecuted pretty badly, and I just read about the Great Meadow Mountain Massacre, where there was like a big train of people, and they convinced them they were under attack by the Indians, and that they were going to lead them to freedom, and instead they killed 125 people, like, they just shot everyone, like, at, like, point blank.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, that's
We don't
not
like-
nice.
Whether they're the Great Brigham Young.
Because, look, most Mormons, like, I think officially, like, polygamy is out of the Mormon
They
religion.
got rid of it in, like, the 1890s, but then, like, there's, like, the extremists, the big extremists in the Mormonism and the Mormon faith who still believe in it.
Well, I'm going to put on a libertarian hat, and I can't think of a good argument why polygamy should be illegal. I think you should be able to marry, like, many people if you want to. You should be able to marry 14. Yeah.
And goats. My opponent wants to have sex with a goat, and he's using that as a reason. Joseph Smith's reasoning was he's married, and he still loves other women. It must be God telling him that he should be married to these women. That was what Joseph Smith's reasoning was for creating polygamy.
And I think that's probably most every married man's excuse for visiting brothels.
Yeah. But arguments against polygamy, if I have to argue against it, then you know which candidate to side with. Actually, I'm in favor. I'm more of a favorite. But I think the argument against it is a lot of times it's used for to force children to get married.
Well, that's not polygamy. That's what's the thing with having sex with the kids?
What are you doing on Wednesday?
That's not polygamy. That's pedophilia. They're two different things.
Someone I work with who gave me the book, she's like, I don't like this because she's a pedophile. And after reading the book, I'm like, oh, I guess she's right. You might like it. Like 14-year-old kids.
So what we're saying is, where are the elementary schools, Jay?
Most of the time, polygamy is used as a way, as a way to hold women. The whole point of it in the Mormon religion is to make sure women are treated as subservient to men. That's in their scripture. Do you agree with the woman that women should be subservient to men?
I don't think I have an opinion because I'm a woman and subservient to men.
Okay, so I guess we're all on the same page here.
Okay.
Any more questions?
Yeah, we have one or two more. How should the U.S. handle the genocide in Sudan?
Who the fuck cares about Sudan? Come on, they wouldn't even know if Sudan, where that even is.
Well, first of all, now it's a
Do they have oil? Do they have minerals? Do they have any reason to give a crap?
Yes, that's what I want them to be able to water.
So genocide reduces the number of leeches that live there. So I'm in favor of it.
I believe it reduces the price of our iPads.
Okay, so even more.
All
Yeah,
right.
so even more.
That's not the Sudan.
If
So
you want to
goodbye.
come on more genocide, vote for Romney.
Okay, it seems like everyone is pro-genocide. Should children of illegal immigrants be granted citizenship?
Well, they are, because they're born in the United States. You're granted citizenship automatically if you're born in the country.
Not necessarily. Well,
That's one
that's
way.
the one you said.
That's one way to read the Constitution.
Which way?
I believe the way it was meant to be read was that illegals should be allowed in the country, and including their kids, unless they're here to pick apples for a short period of time. Are you saying should their kids be allowed to pick apples and blueberries and grapes too? We're fine with their kids coming here as well on a seasonal pass to pick stuff.
Now, are they picking apples and grapes for legal citizens, or are they picking them for themselves?
There's a snake eating a mouse, which is kind of weird to watch.
So you're okay. You're
I have
okay
a
with them
question.
popping in, stealing some apples, and then leaving again?
Immigrants vote for Romney.
No.
So why do we care about them?
Okay.
Are these immigrants? Let me ask my opponent. Would you consider children of illegal immigrants human beings?
Yes.
Oh, so I thought it was something different. Okay. You got me there.
Okay, and last one. Should the United States increase our space exploration efforts and budget?
I believe in missiles on the moon.
Missiles in space?
Yeah.
I believe in spy technology.
What was that?
I believe since we're destroying the Earth and through global warming, then we're going to need to kick it up to find another place to live.
I don't believe in global warming, but I think it's a good idea anyhow. Yes. I think we should send the liberals to space.
So we're for
Yeah.
space exploration and genocide.
Global warming, we're sent to space, global warming will be over.
Okay. And, actually, there's one more question. Should the U.S. intervene in the affairs of other countries?
No, unless there's oil or mineral or gold involved.
I think this is where my colleague here and I agree.
Obama and Romney actually do agree on that 100%.
They agree to Barbell completely.
Interesting. So,
I agree. I'd like to say Barack Obama should have done his policy. If I was president for the last 4 years, I would have done Barack Obama's policy better.
so in summary, we were disagreeing a lot in the beginning, but as far as pillaging other countries and genocide, we are agreed.
And space exploration.
Yeah.
And space exploration, yes. Okay.
Yeah. So, but in closing, Obama probably got rid of your job. I'm saying, because of Obama, prior to Obama being president, the economy was great. Now he's president, Democrats taking over, the economy's in the shitter. Obviously, there's a correlation here.
I say the auto industry.
From yourself. Well, I have a question. 2006, how was the economy?
It was all right.
It was really good, right?
It was inflated.
What was unemployment?
We're in a mortgage derivatives bubble.
How was unemployment then?
I don't remember, but it was better than now.
Yeah. So Democrats took over. How was unemployment now?
The Democrats didn't take over.
It's better than it was when I came into office.
Who made the laws in 2006 going forward?
Well, when George Bush vetoed everything the Democrats did, and Democrats did.
Listen, now you're just blaming someone else. One individual has power over an entire body of Congress? I think not.
Can you even say George Bush?
The 43rd president of the United States, who killed Bin Laden, was a great president, who I will not speak of again. Ronald Reagan. It's kind of like that Candyman thing when you look in the mirror.
Apparently the ghost of Ronald Reagan is going to come haunt us.
Ronald Reagan will be president tonight.
All right. Well, I would like to thank everyone for participating in this. I think we all learned a lot, and hopefully a lot of decisions were swayed for this upcoming election, and we were able to assist in that. So I think we're going to sign off on that note. So thank you guys for joining.
Can I just add in, again, a vote for Mitt Romney is a vote for an iPad for you.
So free iPads for Romney voters.
Yeah.
iPads may not be included. All right. We're signing off. Thanks for listening, guys. We might be back. We might not. I don't even know anymore.
Data bomb, data bomb, data bomb. Bye, bye, love. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye. It's all over. Goodbye. It's time to go. This is the end. Say goodbye. You better go away. I'm going.